prepare, so this service actually may end up being entirely too much Tricia. I'm sorry if that's the case, but Emmy gave me full reign to create this service, and I feel so blessed to be able to share sacred space with all of you in this amazing building and on this sacred ground. So for my, I didn't think there would be any children here, but this would be appropriate for children. I want to give you some more wellness care possibilities, okay? And I thought, well, if there are children here, I can always start this by saying, once upon a time, there was a change in the way people understood how the human brain worked. Not a change exactly, more like an expansion in perspective. Some of the ancient and indigenous peoples knew this all along, but it wasn't until science discovered that the heart had the same kind of cells as were in the head brain that it became more acceptable for me to say it out loud, and even better yet, to teach it to all of you. Now, I learned this concept and this technique from a man named Dr. John Veltheim, who was the founder of the body talk system, which is one of the modalities I'm trained in. And he believed that the body had three brains: the brain in the head, the brain in the heart, the brain in the gut, and that they were meant to work as a single collaborative system. He also believed that all we had to do was link them together. Tap, because we set up a standing wave when we tap. Speak out loud so the brain can hear what we want it to do, and breathe. And so if you wouldn't mind, I would like to lead us through this. We tap both sides of the skull, around the heart center and around the belly. The other thing is Dr. Veltheim believed that this was meant to work as a single system, and that when it does, the heart leads with input from the head, which is data, memory, thinking, reasoning. The heart is the center of wisdom. The gut is the center of our intuitive knowing. And that when they are linked and working together, the heart leads. So if you'll repeat after me, I'm linking the brain in my head. I'm linking the brain in my head to the brain in my heart, to the brain in my heart, and the brain in my gut. And the brain in my gut. Again, I'm linking the brain in my head to the brain in my heart and the brain in my gut. Take a breath one more time. I'm linking the brain in my head to the brain in my heart and the brain in my gut. Excellent. And if you do this even once a day, what you'll find is that your whole perception of actuality will begin to expand. You'll go into a situation and you'll suddenly see more, sense more, feel more about what's actually happening, because the filters of the brain will be offline and we're being led by the heart. Okay, so still more Tricia. The reading that I picked today is a quote from Jamie Sam's book, Other Council Fires Were Here Before Ours. And I was inspired to take the service in this direction by your land acknowledgement, which the first time that I read it brought tears to my eyes. I just want to personally thank you. So Jamie Sams wrote, "These two-leggeds will be called the Rainbow Tribe, for they are the product of thousands of years of melding among the 5 original races." She said, "These children of Earth have been called together to open their hearts and to move beyond the barriers of disconnection. Their medicine will be the whirling rainbow of peace, which will mark the union of the 5 races as one." and then one of my own sonnets. My life is made of puzzle pieces, visions, insights, dreams, weaving a magical, mystical tapestry for my soul. People and experiences, moment by moment. This journey seems to be creating some still waiting to be discovered whole. A life becoming itself, happenstance or intention. I thought I saw the whole picture and understood the core, but here in the third 30, it feels important to mention the pieces are shifting, resettling, growing now into something even more. And as I more clearly see the cosmic breadcrumb trail from a bird's eye view, I see the blossoming beautiful of who I came to be, teacher by teacher, poem by poem, clue by clue. And I am aware of this quiet certainty that was planted in me. Here, I can clearly see the value of even the ugliest situations. And I know I've been guided by the rainbow in all her incarnations. Sometimes in the dark of the night there's a whisper, sweet and low. And right there in the dark of the night there's a moment there's no doubt, there's no fear. In that moment, everything is very clear. We are the people that we've been waiting for. We are the lifeline and love's the open door. The time has finally come. It's a truth I can't ignore anymore. We are the people that we've been waiting for. We're the ones, a vision coming true. We're the ones, me and you. We're the beating heart of that ancient drum. It's the truth. We're the future, and it's almost dawn. Ooh. Sometimes in the midst of the storm, there there's a moment when it's calm. And right there in the midst of the storm, I can feel that it's begun. All my doubts disappear, and I can see that everyone we need is finally here. Yes, we are the people. We are the people that we've been waiting for. We are the lifeline, and love's the open door. The time has finally come. It's a truth I can't ignore anymore. We are the people. We are the people. We are the people that we've been waiting for. Thank you. Thank you again so much for giving me the opportunity to share sacred space with all of you this morning. I would like to begin with a quote from Wolfwalker. Aho. Mitakuye Oyasin is a simple yet profound statement. It comes from the Lakota Nation and means all my relations. It is spoken during prayer and ceremony to invite and acknowledge all relatives to the moment. To most of us today, relative means a blood relative or another human in the family lineage. We've not yet been taught that an entity other than human could be a relative. Understanding this simple statement and contemplating it could change your outlook on life forever. If you love and honor your relatives, you would be loving and honoring most of what is on this earth. If you lived by this meaning of relative, what a different world we would be living in. So sit with this statement. See the truth in it. Everything is related because it all emanates from one source and has purpose. He said truth can be found in Native philosophy, Buddhism, Christianity, Judaism, Islam, all belief systems, because they are all related. Wolfwalker said, I have studied Buddhism and found Christ. I have studied Native philosophy and found Buddha. I have studied Mother Earth, Mother Nature, and found self. Truth does not owe homage to humans. Humans owe homage to truth. Aho. End quote. I was raised by Assyrian Zoroastrians and Assyrian Christians, by German Lutherans and mystically occult-focused Germans. I was baptized evangelical Lutheran and confirmed Methodist. But I left the church at 11 after the minister's wife very quietly told me not to get too close to that newest family in our neighborhood. She told me that those Japanese Buddhists were going to hell because they didn't believe in Jesus. Since that Buddhist family were the kindest people I had ever met in my life, I was pretty sure they weren't going to hell, but I was no longer so sure about the minister's wife. And actually, I feel very grateful to her now because as I left their church, my own individual and personal spiritual education finally began. Today, I feel blessed to have been exposed to and taken part in such a wonderful variety of spiritual traditions. But even more important, I learned firsthand that no matter what name they gave that power greater than themselves, all the traditions that I experienced had one thing in common: love. Love for God, the Father, love for Earth, the Mother, love for family, love for community, love for Great Spirit, for great mystery, beautiful, powerful, divine love. Mitakuye Oyasin is a simple but profound Lakota prayer. This phrase, these two words, mean simply all my relations, or we are all related. And I was taught that to pray this prayer is to petition Great Spirit on behalf of everyone and everything on earth. Mitakuye Oyasin honors the sacredness of each person's individual spiritual path. It acknowledges the sacredness of all life, human, animal, plant, stone, everything. It creates an energy of awareness which strengthens not only the person who prays, but the entire planet. Many years ago, I followed a cosmic breadcrumb trail that led me to Pine Ridge Reservation. And I ended up taking part in a 3-day ceremony, beginning with a sweat lodge for centering, prayer, gratitude, followed by an entire day of walking, praying, and feeling the energy of the earth rise up and pray through me. Walking with people who had come from different reservations, many groups, many ages, many different starting points. Our group covered 10 miles. After our day of walking, there was drumming and dancing and singing and feasting. There was exuberance, there was joy, gratitude. And then we concluded with a sacred circle expressing even more gratitude as we spoke our prayers into tobacco bundles that would later be burned so the smoke could rise. So the smoke could rise to Great Spirit and to become a part of the all that is. That day I made a promise to walk one step at a time in beauty and in a sacred manner. I made a commitment to stay awake and to pray for all my relations. Mitakuye Oyasin. In the years that followed this amazing walk, I was given a Lakota name, and I was given the gift of the pipe ceremony. Later that same year, from a completely different place, I was given a pipe so I could continue to pray for the people. Over the years, I ended up learning a great many things from Native American elders. but the foundation of their teaching was always the same. We are all related. And so I learned how to listen to and learn from the other members of my extended family. I learned that if I was quiet and open, even the ants had something to teach me. I learned how to be a gentle and respectful family member, honoring all my relations. But most important, I think, was that I learned how to take responsibility for my own energy. One of the most powerful teachings that I ever received was about how my emotions contribute to the weather. I was told to go into the woods to find a quiet place, a still place where there was no wind. I was told to sit very still and make the center of myself as peaceful, as quiet, as undisturbed as possible. I was told to pay attention to the air around me and to wait until it was very, very still. Then I was told to churn myself up, to stir anger, to stir up rage, to just stir myself up into a tizzy, and to pay attention to the air all around me. What happened in that moment was absolutely amazing to me and startling. And since my experience on that day, I've never been the same. Because as I stirred that anger, that rage in myself, the air, first directly around me, began to move. Slight breezes at first, then expanding outward, then actual turbulence, wind gusting, blowing through the trees. The power I witnessed that day was profound and startling. I took a few breaths and returned to a state of peacefulness, and the air around me became completely still again. I did this several times that day with exactly the same results. There was no doubt I was responsible for the turbulence. This realization forever changed how I respond to the chaos and the insanity I see in the world around me. My first thought now is, how am I contributing to this energetically? What is the turbulence in me? Where is the chaos in me? Where is the insanity in me? What do I need to do to actively practice the presence of love? What lives in me that is not love? What do I need to heal, to release, to dissolve in myself so I can be a clear conduit through which the energy of love can flow into this dimension? How can I align with and resonate the powerful energy of love, the calming energy of love? How can I become a part of helping that to grow here? I learned that first I have to put energy into my own heart, into my own thoughts, into my own deeds. Sidebar here, interesting. My Assyrian Zoroastrian grandfather taught us to keep it simple. Over and over and over again, he repeated good thoughts, good words, good deeds. Good thoughts, good words, good deeds. Good thoughts, good words, good deeds. Aha! So the hardest part then becomes, can I be brave enough moment to moment to ask myself, Where does superiority exist in me? Where does hatred exist in me? Where does prejudice exist in me? Where does rage exist in me? What are my triggers? And what can I do to root that out and heal myself? So I am no longer feeding the energy of chaos, no longer nourishing the imbalance. So I am no longer fueling the fires of hate and the disease of insanity. So often people say to me these days, I feel so powerless, Tricia. But I tell you right now, we are not powerless. We are finally evolved to a place where we can rise into and embrace our power. Each one of us now has the opportunity to undertake the most challenging adventure presented this lifetime. We have the chance to heal ourselves so the power of love can flow through us full throttle. In closing, I'd like to offer a challenge. I challenge us to move from passive criticism to active loving. I challenge us to look within ourselves and to become willing to heal and to release every single thing in our hearts and minds and bodies that is not love. I honestly believe we are standing on the threshold. I believe that we have the power to create a new world, and I have no doubt that this has already begun. It's already begun. It's just not getting very much press. We are the new humanity. And by being willing to become active visionaries, by being willing to hold this possibility, just hold this possibility in our hearts, we nourish and carry the vision forward. All of us, globally, equally whole, equally healed, equally sacred. All of us together. Mitakuye Oyasin, aho. We gather together to learn and to grow. We gather together because when we are together, it helps us remember the joy and the wonder we are. Together and peaceful, together and grateful, together in spirit we grow, and we know. I wrote this song about a very, very special, sacred moment for me. It's when the moon and the sun are both up in the sky at the same time. Whenever I see that, no matter what is going on out there, I'm filled with this certainty that everything is going to be just fine. Sky above, earth below, Father Time moving slow, brother sun, sister moon, sister sea, rolling home peacefully. Brother, sun, sister, moon, say hello. Come on, starshine, come on, nighttime, come on, day's end, you're my old friend, Mother Earth, Father Sky. What a lifetime, my, oh my. Brother, sun, sister, moon, say hello. Come on, starshine, come on, nighttime, come on, day's end, you're my old friend, Mother Earth, Sister Sea, rolling home peacefully. Brother, sun, sister, moon, say hello. Say hello. Say hello.